6 mindset shifts so you can start thinking like a boss. I have found in my experience, and this was true for myself as well, that freelancers tend to get stuck in an employee mindset. Sometimes it's because we, as freelance virtual assistants, don't consider ourselves real businesses. Feeling like you're not a real business keeps you in this employee mindset. It often leads to you undervaluing your time, your work, your rates, which traps you in the same cycle of feeling overworked and underpaid all the time. I'm gonna give you some mind shift statements to think about. I want you to write them down, put them on a Post-it note, stick them on your forehead, and repeat them every day. Your business, your rules. So simple, right? You make the decisions, you solve the problems. Only person in charge of everything in your business is you. Phrase number 2. You are in charge of your income. This phrase sometimes gives me anxiety, even after 12 years of freelancing, because you're like, oh my God, I'm in charge of my own money. It's true. When you work for somebody else, you don't often have the luxury of figuring out what you're actually worth, because you just get a paycheck and you don't really know how that makes sense or how that fits into your job or your skills. But when you are a freelancer, you are 100% in charge of your own income and deciding where it goes. That includes things like paying taxes, paying for your health insurance, time off, and technology, everything else that you have to spend money on to run your business. It's all up to you now. If you continually undercharge for what you're worth, you're going to have a hard time getting on top of all those expenses. A business of one is still a business, and your clients need to be paying you like a business. Something that is really hard for freelancers is figuring out how much they're worth and how to charge. And I get it, because when you're coming from full-time employment, you get a paycheck, but you don't really understand necessarily how that reflects on your skills or where it fits into the business or their budget. But as a freelance business owner, you have to decide where your funds go, and it has to cover things like tech and apps and tools for your business that you need to run your business. It needs to cover things like your health insurance, retirement funds, time off if you want to take a vacation, all right? So if you are constantly undervaluing your rates or your services, it can be really hard to get on top of your income. Know your worth and know how to ask for it. This is a huge mindset shift, because I think globally, like everybody all around the world, there is a stigma about talking openly about money and compensation. And ultimately, what this fear does is it gets you paid less than what you deserve. When you work for a company or for someone else, you have the luxury of having a boss dictate what you're paid. When you work for yourself, you have to be very clear about what your services are worth to other people. And you have to be really comfortable with talking about money openly. If you feel that a potential client is lowballing your services, you have to tell them that. You have to come back with my rates are X amount or X amount a month, and here's why. So don't be afraid to talk about it, but just keep repeating this. Know your worth and know how to ask for it. You decide what to do and when to do it. All right, in exchange for added responsibilities of being a freelance business owner, you also get flexibility and control of your schedule. Many freelancers, both experienced and new, tend to get stuck in this cycle where they sit at their laptops all day long. In that sense, it's like you're still stuck in the employment mindset. You think, I have to look busy, I have to be busy, even if I don't have a lot of work coming in, I need to be at my desk. That is an old school work mindset. So why recreate that for yourself? If you want to take noon to 3 p.m. off every day for a long lunch, do it. If you want to go hiking every morning from 8 to 11 a.m., do it. Only you can decide your work terms and when you work, okay? Clients can't even legally say you need to be at your computer between X and X, all right? You set the terms. What I like to do with my clients is typically say, when you give me a task or a project to work on, give me a deadline, and I'll get it turned around to you before then or at the deadline. Here's a fun mindset shift for you. You develop yourself. In order to be a successful VA, and charge top rates. You have to be great at what you do. You also have to be able to pivot fast and learn new skills on the fly. If you are the only person in charge of developing your skills, learning new skills, and offering those new skills, you have to take action. That could be watching YouTube videos like you're doing right now. That could be taking a course online. That could be investing in a coach. Whatever you do, you have to be sure that you're keeping up with trends, changing as industries change, incorporating new tools like AI into your business as AI changes. You develop yourself. Here's the last phrase I want you to say. You decide when not to work. This is such a great one. Please repeat it. A lot of VAs ask me as a coach, when do I take vacation? And my answer is whenever you want. We as a society have been conditioned to think of work as worth and value. And we think of idleness as laziness. When new freelancers start to work for themselves, I find that most people cannot think outside of the typical 40-hour work week. You're stuck in that 8 hours at a desk all day mentality. But why recreate something that may or may not work for a corporation? Maybe you hated that schedule. Why recreate that in your own business? If you maintain that mentality of you have to be chained to your desk all day long, this can lead you to filling your day with inefficient work or filling your days with things that don't really matter to your business at all. Like maybe you don't have client tasks coming in, you don't really have a clear plan for what you want to work in, and instead you spend 4 hours perfecting one Canva graphic. That is a huge waste of your time. But when you're the boss, you get to change your relationship between money and time. If they are on a lull or on a holiday, maybe that's the time that you take a holiday as well. On the flip side, you can also choose a period of time in which you work your butt off, okay? Maybe you know you have a vacation coming up in a week or two, so maybe you work your pretty little peach off so that you know you get more work done. You schedule things to go out while you're gone, maybe on your social media, and then you're just happy on your vacation. If you haven't already, seriously consider writing those little mantras down and repeating them every day, because working for yourself is the greatest gift of all time. But it only really works for you if you are able to get out of the employment mentality and into the business owner mentality. And if there's one mantra that you remember this. It's your business and it's your rules. If you guys are interested in more mindset coaching, or you're interested in more business perspective about how to run a successful VA business, check out my website, erinbooth.com. I've got programs, I've got links to videos, I've got courses, and monthly group coaching. So be sure to check that out. And thank you guys so much for watching.